You won't see me. It's early July.
Oh, okay.
You don't know that.
Might not be the day of your first playoff game.
Did you hit 40 yet?
No, 38.
38. Man, you got a couple years. Enjoy it. All right. You guys have spiced up a little bit. Okay. All right. Capitals?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the champs.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Man, I got to tell you. Wow. Wow. All right.
Around there, Flyers guy?
No, I didn't grow up, with the hockey, but yeah, I'm all Hawks, baby.
January.
Huh? All right. As far as the injuries go, same thing for practice today with Eddie and with Aaron, and we'll know more tomorrow as far as their status. We'll see where they're at, but they were doubtful here the last couple of days. And then let's see here, Bilal. He was every Friday when we go inside. So no change there. And then who was the other one? Is that it?
He's back.
Yeah, he's back. Yep, he's good to go. So he got a good Z-pack and he's rolling now. So other than that, that's it with the injuries. Today was Feel Good Friday Red Zone, and we had a good practice, and it was quick, short and sweet, and guys are ready.
How long?
Yeah, he was limited today. Yep, which is good for him to get out there and do some things. So that was good to see. And then we'll just kind of monitor where he's at and as we go each day. But it was good to see him out there.
Is there what will you be looking for to see whether he can help you this?
Just to kind of get a feel for where he tells us he feels, everything health-wise. And then also the other part, too, is when you're out like that, it's the conditioning side, too, of whether and how he feels with his football conditioning per se. So we'll just keep communicating and talking to him, and then we'll see what we think is best as we go. But today was a great first step.
What did you appreciate about him when he was in for the first half of the year?
Well, the one thing that jumped out to me when we first got started was how attentive he was in meetings, how much of a leadership role he took, with that offensive line, and then how smart he was with everything that we do. He knew stuff inside out. So that was natural for him. I think he's a natural-born leader. And then on top of that, he was playing really well. And you forget, and then you see him out here at practice today, you forget how huge he is. He's massive. And he's strong, powerful, quick for his size. And so it's good to get him back. It's a good thing.
Not to put the cart too far ahead of the horse, but would you have any qualms returning a guy after 2.5 months or 2 months into a playoff game versus a regular season game?
Right. That's something that we'd have to think about and think through. If we get to a point to where we feel like we can have him ready or play in the last regular season game, if that would make sense, great. If we feel like just talking through with him that we get into the playoffs and that's that's something that he can do, we can test that out too. So we just have to see. I think more so for him, where he feels he's got to be honest with us, and then we just got to see conditioning wise, because it is different. It's not like going out and running a mile or 2 miles. I mean, it's just a different type of conditioning.
Matt, to get a little deeper and more philosophical here.
Yeah.
When you first took the job, what were some of the curiosities or uncertainties you had about stepping into this role for the first time, how it would go or how guys would respond or anything like that? What were you curious about?
Probably more so than anything was how was the team going to respond in team meetings, getting to know kind of who we are as a staff, the trust process, because that's not easy. To me, that's the hardest part. The football, we all know football. We can all teach it. But how do they grasp what your direction is as a leader? And so you don't really know that. You know who these players are when you take the job. You know who they are on tape. You don't know who the people are. And then when you meet them, you go through OTAs, and then the biggest part of being curious is how are we going to respond to adversity? That's inevitable, and that's what I've learned. And so for anybody that's in my role, getting into that type of deal, I think that for me, that's what it was.
What has the process been like overall for you to have those curiosities satisfied here, and obviously with the positive context?
Right. It's been. It's for me. I'm trying not to. I've stayed forward this whole time. I haven't looked back. I haven't looked ahead. I've tried to just stay in the moment right now, and I know it's good. and I feel that, and I love the energy from everybody. I mean, that's why we do what we do. I'll be able to reflect a little bit once the season ends and you know, be able to dig into more details on that. But I just really appreciate everybody involved, how we're doing this thing together. And then the other part of this too is I want to make sure that everybody understands that the part of the complacency and being okay with where we're at, because we're not, you know. This was something that we discussed, but we have one big goal as a team, and we didn't, you know, you never know how soon it's going to come, but now we built this, and now it's here. And so every week it's so different. You know, you guys come to me with questions in regards to the starters and playing or not playing. You're in contentment, and can you get the, but for us, I think we stay away from that, just because when you do that now, you're not going to be the same team. And that's why, you know, my job is to make sure guys are ready every week.
What's the challenge of continuing that into the playoffs where things are different? It is you're going home mentality.
I'd like to know, I'll probably do a raise of hands in our first team meeting of that first playoff week, and honestly I'd like to see a raise of hands of the guys that have never played in a playoff game in the league, and get a feel for that. I can look at a roster and get it and see it and kind of know it, but I haven't done that. And so when we get to that point, I'll do that. And then I'll explain to them and let some other guys get up and talk and explain to them how real it gets and everything, those games. So you take our biggest game of this year, whatever one that was, whichever one, you take that and you times it by about 5. And that's how the playoff speed goes. Everything's faster. Everything's a little bit louder. Everything's a little bit harder. And everything feels a little bit better when you win, you know, and it feels a little worse when you lose. So our guys got to understand that, and I just want to be real with them. I want them to know that, and that, you know, that time will be coming. But I'll approach that when the time comes.
You mentioned the staff, and you did not bring a bunch of guys here with you from Kansas City, and that's probably a little unique.
Yeah.
What has it been like to build that part of it with those guys and the trust and the processes being put in place that you want?
I've liked it because you get to learn different people. You get to learn different ways to do things. There's nothing wrong with that. Now I have a map that I follow, but if I want to take another direction in a specific category, I can do that. And I think you get guys. Our staff is unique in the fact that we have a bunch of different age groups too with our staff. And experiences. We have college guys that have been in college for a while. We have guys that have only been NFL. We have young guys that have been in only college, and we have older guys that have only been in the NFL. And so you use all those, and you get ideas, you bring it in, and then like you just said too, we have guys, this is their first year in the NFL coaching. They've never been to a playoff game. So not only are you coaching your players, but you're coaching your coaches. And that'll be the unknown for us. This will be our first time when we get to that, of knowing how we react to a playoff type atmosphere. But obviously that's down the road.
Not to ask another philosophical question, but I know you said that the boom thing was just something you did. Looking at it, are you spiking a football? Are you counting a basket?
I have no idea. It's imaginary. You can make it whatever you want. It just happened just naturally at that Detroit game. I was pumped for our guys. And it just clicked, and I did it, and then the guys were calling for more of it, so I did it again, and then a third time. But yeah, you make it up, whatever you want it to be. That's what it is.
Bellamy said he wants to put the video on the scoreboard and hands come with
Bellamy.
It's just a Bellamy.
Bezo.
In all seriousness, they seem to have connected with you over something as silly as that. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, for sure. I want to be able to connect with my guys. We're all family, and that's who I am. I just try to, I don't script speeches weeks before. I just, whatever I'm feeling that night of, whether it's, or day of that night meeting, I'll do that. Or if it's in the morning, whatever's on my heart, that's what I talk about. And that just kind of happened. So it took off. The guys like it. If they like it, I like it.
Man, I know we talked a lot about Club Dub yesterday, but did you actually dance for the first time yet?
There's been one game in there. I don't remember what game, but I did get in there a little. I got a little bit caught up in the moment, and I told myself I wasn't going to, but I did, and I forget what game. No one will see it. But no, I just let the guys go, and different people are jumping in there. Now you're seeing a lot more guys are in there, and I think it's awesome. And you know, we have some good ideas here down the road.
Do you know who controls the music in it?
I don't. I have an idea, but I don't know exactly. I really
Is that idea Bellamy?
the music, like the actual songs.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they have some guys that work together, but he's probably somehow involved, I would guess. I mean, he's Bezo.
Vic, when we talked to him yesterday, expressed an appreciation for how you oversee the team, but also you're running this offense, and sort of a dual role there.
Yeah.
How have you refined that as you've gone on here? Figured out what you can do, what you can't do, what you need to do,
As far as the offensive part, or just everything?
balancing it all.
Yeah, I've refined things in the fact I've leaned more on the offensive staff throughout the week, and in practice I've kind of, I haven't really changed too much. I don't think. For me, it's learning. I think you'll see more of the changes if there are any next year, where I might change some things how I do it, whether it's logistically or how I handle situation, but nothing too crazy. I just, it's nice in my situation to have a guy like Vic to where, he's got tons of experience. He's been doing this for a while, and he does his thing. And I'll go over and meet with the players and coaches at times. But I think that's the beauty of kind of what we got going on. Good. All right, guys. Yep.
Locker room is okay.